I'm just going to go through some chair yoga, so some stretches for while you're sitting at your desk. So mostly the exercises you can do just sitting and see how they feel. So you're going to, if you're like me, feet don't even touch the ground, you're going to put your bottom right on the edge so that your feet touch the ground, okay? And what you're going to do is we're going to start with stretching through the neck. So you're going to turn to your right and you're going to bring your chin to your chest, all the way across to the opposite shoulder, and then look up at the ceiling and come back to the right shoulder. So breathing out as you come down, breathing in as you look up, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Bring your head to the left shoulder, and then you're going to reverse direction. So look down as you sweep your chin across to the right. Inhale, look up at the ceiling, over to the left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to center and just nod your chin to your chest and look up and down and up. Yes, a couple more. Inhaling as you look up, exhaling as you look down. And then back to center, and we're just going to add in a little twist. So you can keep the feet, both feet down, or you can cross one leg over the other. And you're going to inhale, bring the left arm across the right knee. And then you're going to take your right hand either behind your back, or you can take it all the way behind the chair. And you're twisting all the way to the right. Breathe in when you breathe in, you lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, twist. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, twist. And I'll just show you that from the side as well. Okay, so you bring in your left arm across the right knee, right hand, all the way out. And really try and turn to look over that right shoulder. Breathe in, feel your head lengthen to the ceiling. Breathe out, twist a little deeper. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, twist. One last one, big breath in. Big breath out. And then come back to center. And we'll do the other side, so you're crossing the left leg over the right. You're bringing the right arm out in front of the left knee, and you're just using that to bring your chest through, and then exhale, turn. Use your other hand to help draw yourself around. So a big deep twist this is. Inhale, lengthen. Head reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, deepen into the twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. And back to the center. We're just going to do a side stretch. So we're leaning to the right, so stretching the left side body. But we're going to take our right hand across to the left, and you're just going to lean all the way over. But using that hand gives you a little bit of an extra stretch. So you should feel it here, and you want to concentrate your breath on that area, so the side ribs. So big breath into the side ribs. And big breath out. You can turn to look at your fingertips if that feels comfortable in your neck. If you're struggling with your neck position, just take your hand to the outside of your right ear and hold your head if your neck is feeling any way uncomfortable. And then let's swap sides. So we're going to stretch the right side body, so the left hand comes over the right thigh, reach the right hand up and then lean all the way over. Turning your head if that feels comfortable. And then inhale back up. Sit your bottom on the edge of the chair, feet on the ground, hands are at shoulder level, and we're just going to waken up the nervous system here because it gets a bit sluggish when we've been sitting for so long. So you're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right, and we're doing short, sharp, quick breaths. So inhale, exhale. Relax the arms out. So that's just a really nice way of just like loosening everything up. Shrug the shoulders up to the ear and release down. And again, shoulders up to the ears and release down. You're going to take your right arm up to 90 degrees and you're going to take your left arm underneath your right and you're going to try and interlace your fingers. And then you're going to raise your elbows. So stretching out through the back of the shoulder here, both shoulders, more the right. You get a little bit of chest lift as well, which is nice. So you're trying to keep your chest lifted, keep your head lifted, keep your arms and fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. And lower down. And then we're going to swap, okay? So right arm comes under the left, interlace your fingers, and then raise the elbows up. Big breath in. Good, keep bracing the fingertips, keep lifting through your chest. Big breath in and out. And then lower the hands, shake out the arms, okay? And then we're just going to stretch out through the hips. So you're going to take you can sit right back into the chair for this one, and you're going to take your right ankle onto your left thigh. And you can either hold the position here, especially if you've got any hip issues and you're feeling this already a deep stretch, just stay here. Otherwise you can lean forwards and deepen the stretch. Okay, and we're just going to do 5 slow deep breaths here. So big breath in and big breath out. Big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in, big breath out. 2 more. So concentrating on the breathing really stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. So if you've been feeling a bit stressed and strung out today, really important to keep your focus on your breath. Left ankle on top of the right thigh, let's do the other side. And you'll feel completely different in both sides. So just go with what's comfortable on the side that you're stretching. So lean forwards only if that feels comfortable for you and you've no known hip issues. Slow, deep breaths. Keep the focus on breathing. And then sit back into the chair. And you're going to tuck one leg back behind, and then you're going to lift the other leg up towards your chest, and then you're just going to gently straighten out through the hamstring. So only straighten as far as you can, and make sure you keep your back supported here. You can add in some foot actions, circles or toes pointing, but basically you're just releasing out any of that tightness in the hamstring and the sciatic nerve. So just be gentle with it, don't force it. Make sure your back's supported. And then swap sides. Keep your chest lifted, keep your shoulders relaxed. Point the toes if you can. This can help take some pressure off the lower back by releasing out the sciatic nerve and the hamstrings. Good, and then lower the legs down, and we're going to come up and we're going to stretch through our hip flexors, because hip flexors, you know, get a little bit tight from sitting all day, a little bit tight, a little bit weak, so they get tight. So we're going to put one foot up on our chair, and then we're just going to lean forwards, feeling a stretch through the front of the leg that's down, so in this case the left. Just feel a nice slow stretch there. And you want to hold these hip stretches a little bit longer probably than what we're doing here. Between 8 and 12 breaths would be ideal. Slow, calm, relaxed breathing. Swap legs. And then we're just going to take the back of our chair or your desk, chairs on wheels, and what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out through the shoulders. So both hands on top of the chair or to the side of the chair. And you're trying to get your shoulders, wrists, hips level here, and then your chin is tucked in and trying to keep it level with your biceps basically. And you're not allowing the back to sag in this, you're just trying to feel the stretch. Imagine that you're pushing the chair away. So you're feeling the stretch out through the back of the shoulders. And a little bit of stretch in your hamstrings possibly. If you need to, you can bend the knees if the hamstrings are pretty tight. Keep your ribs tucked in, keep the back of your neck long, keep the spine long. Feel that length through the spine and the shoulders. If you want to make it a little bit more active, you can raise one leg straight up behind. So a little bit of work for the left ankle and left glutes, right hamstring, right glutes, while keeping that position through your upper body and your shoulders. Don't let the ribs sag, keep your pelvis level, big breath in and out. Lower the right leg, raise through the left. Nice, smooth, steady breathing. Check in with your breath. You don't want to be holding your breath. You want it to be nice and smooth, and that's where your focus is. Get out of your head and get into your breath. And then lower the left leg, bend through the knees, interlace your hands behind your back and fold forwards. Really, really nice stretch here. You can deepen the bend in your knees if you need to. It's a really good one. Your head should feel nice and loose. It's a really good one for releasing tension in the back of the neck, shoulders, back. And then slowly come up, pressing into your heels. And just bring your hands onto your hips, and you're just going to lean backwards. So lift your chest, arch your back, press your hands into your hips to give some support. Look up at the ceiling. Come back up, and then we'll just do that again. And back up. And then just a couple of twists. After doing some back bends and forward bends, you want to twist it out. And then I'm just going to finish with pelvic tilting. So a really nice way to release some pressure off your lower back if you can't get up and move around. Okay, so if you're sitting for a long period, you're doing something that you need to concentrate on, you want to be able to release some tension, and doing some nice pelvic tilts is a really nice way. So tilting your pelvis forwards, arching your lower back, tilting your pelvis back, round in the lower back. And you want to try and find somewhere in between these two end ranges to sit. So, you know, somewhere that's kind of in between, but always break it up. So you can sit back here. It's not a bad posture as long as it's not your only posture, yeah? So just make sure you're up and you're down. So really nice stretch. You can bring the whole body into it if you want. You can even use your hands on your legs to really round, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, arch, bring your hands back. Good. So just some nice small movements that you can do at your chair to release any tension from the back. Okay, I hope that was helpful and I hope you enjoyed that little stretch. Feel free to do one or two while you're sitting at your desk or do all in a row, up to you. Thanks.